Traveling or studying abroad can be such a wonderful experience. Between getting to learn the native culture, eating its food, or even learning a bit of the native language, there are many benefits to doing so. But I'm sure some of you haven't even considered the possibility of traveling or studying abroad because of how expensive it can be, on top of all the other expenses you may already be paying. But that's why you should start saving early and or apply for financial aid through your college to save enough money to travel or study abroad in the future. Now, the financial costs of traveling and studying abroad are high, but there are ways to overcome that barrier. An around 2-week trip for one person to go abroad is about $3,000 plus. Now, this will vary depending on how many people you plan to take with you, but will also vary depending on where you want to go, as destinations like Mexico, which is about $1,000 for a single person, are cheaper than places like Paris, which is about $1,500 for one person. But even with those cheaper locations, that's still a lot of money. Because of how high these costs of traveling and studying abroad can be, this may cause some to completely throw out or give up on the idea of doing so, as they may think they may not be able to afford it. And as many of you are college students, you may not be making big bucks because you might not have full-time jobs yet, maybe part-time jobs if any at all. And personally, I've known people who struggled to come up with enough money to travel or study abroad. For example, when I was going to study abroad, I had a friend that wanted to go with us, but sadly she didn't save up enough money to go and didn't end up going with us. And due to all those factors, I'm sure some of you may think that the possibility of traveling or studying abroad is something unlikely to happen for you. But traveling and studying abroad is possible, even if you are financially limited, as there are methods to save up enough money to go. So again, you should start saving money early and or apply for financial aid through your college to save enough money to travel or study abroad in the future. One way you can start saving money is to look at what you spend money on daily and cut out some of those extra wants. One way of doing this would to be spend less money eating out. Airchecks, a travel website, actually recommends doing this by saying, quote, "Say you go out to eat 5 times a week. Just trimming your lunch cost from $12 to $8 saves you $832 a year. For even more savings, pack a lunch if you're able to." End quote. You can also create a savings account with your bank to help fund your travel abroad or study abroad funds as well. Airchecks also recommends doing this by saying, quote, "Create a new bank account with your bank called I'm Outta Here and feed it monthly, weekly, or daily." End quote. I would recommend feeding it at the end of every month and putting at least $40 into that account so that you aren't waiting decades to travel. And finally, if you're wanting to study abroad through a college program, apply for financial aid. Green River, for example, offers financial aid through grants, loans, and scholarships for those who want to study abroad. Now, those grants and loans aren't study abroad specific, but some of their scholarships are. For example, on their website, they list the Fund for Education Abroad Scholarship, which provides U.S. citizens with up to $5,000 for a quarter-long program. Now, some of those scholarships are also destination-specific. So for those who are wanting to go to London, Berlin, or Italy, can apply for the AIFS scholarship, which provides between $500 to $5,000 in awards based on both need and merit. Reducing those costs, putting the money aside early, and applying for financial aid can all help you travel or save up enough money to travel or study abroad. That $832 saved from eating out less will go a long way for your travel fund. And putting aside the $40 at the end of each month will also help you speed up that financial savings process while not completely depleting all of your financial resources. And the financial aid that colleges can provide for those wanting to study abroad through their programs can also be another financial stress reliever. On Green River's Save and Pay Study Abroad sites, they give an example of the Green River mascot putting those savings methods into practice. First, he saved $218 by not spending $3 at Starbucks 3 times a week for 6 months. He also used 50% of the financial aid he got, which was about 50% of his tuition, to put aside $725 to study abroad. And if he had put $40 aside in a bank account for those 6 months, he would have saved an additional $240. So already by the end of that 6-month period, he would have already saved $1,183 or $458 without financial aid to travel or study abroad. Now that we've gone over the ways you can save to travel or study abroad, let's go over the many benefits of doing so. According to Matthew Jones and James Petrick in their literature review on the educational benefits of travel experiences, quote, both travel with a learning objective and objectiveless travel generated educational benefits, including personal development, new perspectives, and many generic skills such as autonomy, independence, and self-confidence, end quote. There are also many benefits to studying abroad while in school. As according to Peter Gordon and his colleagues in their marketing management proceedings encouraging their students to travel abroad, quote, the value of such an experience being included on the student's resume should increase job prospects, increase the student's cultural awareness, make the student a more informed global citizen, and the student will learn more than in a classroom setting. And all of those benefits can be achieved through using the saving methods I mentioned earlier to save enough money to travel or study abroad. Now, to give you an example of how you can employ those savings methods in your life, let's say you're going about your everyday business, but change up a few things to save a bit of money to travel or study abroad. So for example, when you wake up in the morning, instead of going to the nearest coffee shop to get your cup of coffee, you decide to make it at home yourself. And when noon hits, instead of going out to eat, you look up whatever you're craving for a recipe on the internet and decide to try to make it yourself. And when you're going to the Green River homepage to check Canvas for the day, the International tab catches your eye, and you decide to explore the Study Abroad program tab underneath it. Now that we know the benefits of traveling or studying abroad, as well as the methods to save up to do so, let's start explaining how you can do it. Start today. If you've even just briefly considered traveling or studying abroad, start researching and saving now. Starting today, make that cup of coffee or that lunch at home yourself. You can also create a new bank account with your bank to put aside money to help fund your travel or studying abroad. And if you go to the Green River website homepage, go over to International, and under the Our Programs tab, hit Study Abroad, and you can check out Green River's Study Abroad programs, as well as some of the financial aid they provide to those wanting to do so. Now, wanting to travel or study abroad may seem impossible because of how expensive it is, but you can overcome those financial barriers. Start saving early. Put aside money at the end of the month even, and apply for financial aid through scholarships and grants and loans through your college if you're wanting to study abroad through one of their programs. And I can tell you, as someone who has studied abroad myself, that your money will be well worth it.